beautiful sights of the Mississippi River, for being known as the birthplace of the blues and Beale Street, and for being the home of the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. For 50 years, Memphis has been the professional wrestling capital of the world.
And now, it's with great pleasure that we welcome you to the very first edition of TV5 Power Pro Wrestling.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Hello, everybody. Dave Brown with Corey Macklin. We are live in the studios at WMC TV5 with Power Pro Wrestling, and it's underway. Corey, great action lined up for Power Pro Wrestling's inaugural event here today.
Oh, my goodness, Brother Dave, let me tell you, if you have not called a friend, pick up the phone and tell them right now to tune in to TV5 Power Pro Wrestling right here today in our studio for the very first time. We're going to see the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol. He is going to be right here today as we are live right here in the studios of TV5. Billy Joe Travis, hopefully he won't do a concert today.
Oh, I hope not.
He's always unpredictable, but he's going to be here. We got a Young Guns 8-man tag team match as well. It is going to be a biggie, Dave.
And that's not all. Everybody's wanted to be a part of Power Pro Wrestling today. Interesting situation yesterday with Brian Christopher. I'll show you that a little bit later on. And it's coming. It's coming. Get ready. The final confrontation. Jerry the King Lawler, superstar Bill Dundee, all over the world. They've had this feud for years and years.
Oh, my.
Final confrontation today on Power Pro Wrestling.
What a day. I'm ready for it. Let's kick it off.
Let's get it underway right now.
Oh, yeah.
Opening match of the day.
Power Pro Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling.
The Power Hour.
Man, I love that old stuff. Hello again, everybody, and we have a lot of people here. Greg and Michelle and Thomas. Glad my certainly best friend, my brother from another mother, Randy West, who joins us on the Tuesday show to watch. He is here tonight because in all reality, I know Randy and I know he knows me. And he is thinking, is Randy going to pull it off? It's a point in Randy's life that it was low. How's he going to do showing this last ever Power Pro Wrestling show? And that's exactly what we're going to do. And after we do it, bonus time after the Power Hour, as we got a lot of information and we want to get you guys telling us some of your favorite stuff in the series of Power Pro Wrestling. This is the 154th straight week that we have been watching Power Pro Wrestling together, from PJ and Matt and Thomas and everybody, man. I appreciate everybody because I birthed Power Pro Wrestling just like I would have birthed a baby. It was my life. It was my passion. And then, as we said, as we went off the air last week after show 153, they call me up in the office and say, hey, next week, which is the show we're going to show today, is it for Power Pro Wrestling. And it was the most traumatic and upsetting thing that I ever had happened to me in my life. Now, after we show this show, then I will admit some things that I'm not really happy about. Some evil thoughts and I will talk about this. Right now, I want to tell you that old sayings do not get to be old sayings unless they're true. Now, the first one I'm going to give you is all great things comes to an end. That's it. An old saying. That's true. All great things come to an end. The other one I want to show you is, or talk to you about, is that you have to live your life with the philosophy in your life, not just your work life, but in your life, that the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. It came down to this. It absolutely came down to this. The difference of 3 years. On Saturday morning, on April the 18th, 1998, we showed the opening clips. Was my dream come true? As we debuted Power Pro Wrestling. Again, we've watched for 153 weeks, and I appreciate every one of you. This is going to be an emotional show, the show we watch. It's going to be emotional, the stuff that I say, and then we're going to really deep dive and get down and dirty with it and really open my heart up about these times. Hey, Coquina, what is going on to you? This episode will be good. Coquina is sad that this is the last one, and then we'll tell you what's up for what's next for me after that. Certainly, tomorrow night we'll be rocking and rolling with the great talk in Memphis Wrestling. My buddy Frank Seaton in the house. My buddy from Georgia, Al Tuttle, is in the house. Coquina, we'll get to questions as the show gets moving along. I've told you about great scenes. We showed you the open of the very first Power Pro Wrestling show, did all that, and we can tell you that we will see my announcement announcing the end of Power Pro coming up. We will also see, I don't think I'll even tell you, because we tell you as we set it up during the show. I will tell you this, we have a 10-man tag match that was great. We will have that at you. And then we have 2 matches that I signed for this show. Certainly we have that bringing right at you. For those of you that have not seen it, it's show number 154. The last television show ever in the studio of WMC TV Channel 5. It premiered in March of 1977. Power Pro Wrestling premiered in April of 1998. The very last historic show, the last live studio wrestling show in Memphis, Tennessee history, in a major network television program. Hey, Chance, what's going on? Was this event that took place on April the 14th, 2001. We're a couple of months away from, listen to it, 24 years. And now, here is the final Power Pro Wrestling Show 154 right now.
Power Pro Wrestling is sponsored by Bill Blake Auto Insurance.
I'm good, Calvin.
Power Pro Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling.
Love this open.
Power Pro Wrestling.
The Power
pros of the Power Hour live right here on TV5. We're set to go with another big Saturday of action. Dave Brown and Corey Macklin here at ringside once again.
Here we are, buddy, right here for the Power Hour. We're on air live in the studio of WMC TV5 and ready to go with another big one.
And in the ring right now, the owner, the founder, the president of Power Pro Wrestling, Randy Hale.
Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you very much, Corey. If I could have everybody's attention for just a second, I wanted to start the show, and it'll be a great show today, and we're thrilled to death with everything scheduled. Wanted to make this announcement. You know, Power Pro Wrestling premiered 3 years ago on April the 18th, 1998, and it was the happiest day of my life, and I'm sure a lot of people here were there that day. You know, Memphis wrestling has been a part of me for my whole life. I started watching wrestling in 1971, and I guess obsession is a good word to say, but I love Memphis wrestling. It's part of me. You know, my dream always, you know, a lot of kids want to be the doctor or the lawyer. I wanted to be in the wrestling business. A lot of people don't get to live their dream. Most people don't get to live their dream, and I'm blessed for the fact that I was able to do that thanks to a lot of people over the years, and thanks to the best wrestling fans in the world, the fans of Memphis, Tennessee. We were able to do that. And for the past 3 years, I think we've done a great job, and the talent have been great. And a lot of people have put their heart and soul into Power Pro Wrestling, and from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every one of them, and I hope I can get through this interview right now, because I feel myself not getting through it. Anyway, I wanted to make this announcement. You know, one thing that's sure in life is, that you can always be sure of, is that everything changes. And regretfully, I'm here to announce that had a meeting last Saturday afternoon, and due to kind of way financially things have changed in the wrestling business and the TV business, and because of insurance liability reasons, I was informed a week ago last Saturday that today is the last ever Power Pro television show. And I just wanted to come out and tell you, and I don't want to bring people down today, because you never know what happened down the line. They're going to start airing next week of the best of Memphis wrestling, some classic footage, and you never know what will happen after that. I just wanted to come out here right now once again and say that I appreciate everything from everybody. You know, there's a lot of things that needs to be settled around here, because over the last several months there's been things going on that I hadn't liked and the people hadn't liked. And this spellbinder, this Brandon Baxter, has done the most disgusting stuff I've ever seen in my life, especially when Jerry Lawler and Stacy, by the way, I'm in the same situation now Jerry and Stacy is. They've been out of a job, now I'm out of a job. But to go in like they've been doing and insulting and making parodies on them is just disgusting. So they'll pay, and they'll pay today. The very final main event in the history of Power Pro Wrestling. Spellbinder, you're real big and bad. But today, in this very ring, it will be Jerry the King Lawler and the Spellbinder right here today. And also Stacy, who I've known for a long time, love her to death. She came up to me and said, "Randy, do me one favor." Said, "This Brandon Baxter has been a thorn to me for a long time. I want to match with him one-on-one right here today on the Power Hour." Now, Stacy weighs 105 pounds for some reason or another. After hanging around the Spellbinder, Brandon Baxter's gained a lot of weight, probably 185, 190. That's not fair. I told Stacy I didn't want to do that. But Stacy assured me she had a plan for Brandon Baxter. She told me she liked the plan, so I'm going to book the match. Stacy Lawler, Brandon Baxter, right here on the Power Hour, and we have a lot of great things today that I'm real excited about. Once again, I want to thank the wrestling fans of Memphis, Tennessee, especially the boys in the back, and everybody that's been great to us.
All right, ready. Thanks very much for all of that. But coming out here, right, Brandon Baxter and Spellbinder. Yeah, a couple of the biggest problems we've had, and I think Baxter's been a huge problem for a long, long time, and somehow he's got Spellbinder with him now. And Spellbinder's got the microphone in his hand.
You don't cease to amaze me. Your mouth just never ceases to amaze me. You see, I've been having one of the worst weeks of my entire life. You were talking about things coming to an end. You think I care? You think I care? I gotta wrestle that fox with Jerry Lawler. Let's go back in history. Number one, shut your mouth, and let's go back in history.
All right,
The first
come on, Spell.
match was won by the Spellbinder. You want to know something? The very last Power Pro match is going to be won by the Spellbinder. Jerry Lawler wants to run his mouth and talk about steroids. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. This is hours and hours in the gym. You want to listen to these pieces of crap talk about you?
Hey, get out of here.
Wait a minute, Spell.
Get out of here.
First of all, what I want is you people to be quiet while the real stars of this show speak. Now, Randy Hales, for 5 years, you have done everything imaginable to try to run me out of Memphis, Tennessee. Is that correct?
I don't like you. That is correct.
So
That's a
today,
fact.
you're going to make a match with myself against Stacy. Does it reek of a plan? Does it reek of desperation? Yes, it does, Randy Hales.
She is going to
I
meet you in this
know
ring.
what Stacy's master plan is. I know what she has up her sleeve, and that is Jerry Lawler. I will come out here and I will wrestle Stacy. I will put Stacy in her place if you give me your word, you promise that Jerry Lawler will be barred from the studio during that match.
Let me make this clear. Hey, people, hold on. He's saying the only way he'll wrestle Stacy right here if Jerry Lawler is banned from the ring, from ringside, from the studio.
If that happens, if you will guarantee me that, I will send Stacy packing back to the kitchen.
Okay, I will guarantee that.
Very easy.
I'll guarantee you that, but I'll tell you this. Spellbinder, if you enter, you're banned too. You're banned too. Hey, you're banned, all right?
Hey, come on,
guys.
Come on, Spellbinder.
You've signed her death warrant, Randy Hales. I promise you that.
All right, Randy. All right, go ahead. Do we have an interview from Ali? Let's hear what Ali has to say about that, who returned just a couple of weeks ago. Let's go to that now.
Let me say that over the years, it has been a privilege for Ali to be part of Memphis wrestling. But because of my present frame of mind for what happened last week, I was told I don't have an opponent this week. Randy Hales, you must be out of your mind if you think I'm going to miss the last show of a house that I built. You must be crazy. I will find an opponent today, and that sucker will die. I promise you that.
What we just saw.
Coming up on Memorial Day weekend, I
the
know it's a
opening
little bit of a ways off, but make your
of the
plans to
last
be at
Power
Liberty Land.
Pro
Liberty Land
wrestling.
really gets going on Memorial Day weekend, and Power Pro will be a part out of that Saturday, Sunday,
Hey,
and
guys.
Monday.
Hey,
As
Michelle.
free Power Pro
Going
wrestling
back
at 2 o'clock
those
each day with a purchase
extreme
admission
emotion.
into Liberty Land Park.
All right, deal that is.
Yes,
huh?
indeed.
Yeah, wrestling and Liberty Land.
Power Pro's done that before, and it's been fun. I think it's
It
been
has.
fun for the crowd, fun for the wrestlers, and look forward to seeing you out at Liberty Land Memorial Day weekend, if not before.
Here I come to
What's,
save the show. Oh, my goodness. Not him
Lance
again.
Jade.
No need to fear. Lance Jade is here. Oh, he
So
shows
what?
back up.
Lance Jade is here, and
Lance
how-
Jade.
Back,
In
Dave.
the last
Can
show,
you believe it?
returning
No.
to Power Pro
why are you back? How did you get our microphone?
I'll never shut up as long as I'm in Memphis because I can't stand you people. I'm here to wrestle the biggest and the baddest. Bring someone out for me to win.
Well, who's available? We got Lawler and Spellbinder in the main event.
There's Lance Gate, and Lance Jade, he's looking for someone to take on. Here comes
he found somebody.
Be careful what you wish for, Lance Jade. Ali hits the ring, and he's highly upset because he is not scheduled for a bout in the hand. Lance Jade wants to wrestle. Here you go, Lance.
You know, back in the days when Power Pro first got going, Lance Jade, I think, was the first Young Guns champion. And he now is going against the very tough Ali. Ali says this is his house. And he's trying to prove it right now. Down on the floor. There's Lance Jade. Ali picks him up. And Lance Jade out here running his mouth, insulting the fans, insulting the Power Pro wrestlers, and one of them answered the bell, and that is Ali, who is in charge right now.
Television wrestling match from the studios of WMC TV. Todd Alexander says hello. Al Tuttle says the very high start to the show.
There's a double
this wasn't an easy show to do.
Lance Jade.
Yeah, Lance Jade did a good job on that one. I think Ali really just about had him set up.
Choking him.
Well, okay. That's the Lance Jade we know right there. Yeah,
use the chokehold. Randy Baxter against Stacey Lawler and Jerry Lawler against the Spellbinder in the final match that ended up in TV5 wrestling history.
Trying to get to that bottom rope for a break.
He's almost got it converted to the old Boston Crab, but Jade is able to crawl over to the ropes, and the referee is going to call.
Of everybody that's watching this watch along, I wish you would comment right now. Who has watched this program before? Who has seen this program before?
He backs the big guy to St. Louis. Chopper across the chest for Lance Jade. Uh-oh. They open up a can of worms, I think.
Yep. Ali stalking him. And now look at this. Ali drops him down, and can he go for the cover in the count of three? Covers it. 1, 2, but that's all.
Jade kicks out.
Lance Jade still alive in the match.
Catches him below the belt this time, and referee William Gibson right in there on it.
As Greg White
he backs up
watched the very last Power Pro show. Did it shock you, Greg? Did it shock you, the news that this was it? Hey, Crazy Gale, hope you're feeling better. We appreciate you. And Ali gets the win. In the last time that you see Ali or anybody else
like it to be. He was talking
in
a
a Power Pro show.
That didn't last
the
very
Warrior
long.
One says
the King is coming up
he
next.
has
Don't go away. The Power Hour has lots more to go this Saturday morning.
The very last one. I thank everybody for watching. Call a friend, call a neighbor. I think you will enjoy. And this is our very last
fans. It's always a pleasure
of our Monday night shows.
That's exactly right. If you don't know already, today is the last live show of Power Pro Wrestling in Channel TV5. Like he said, it's been great wrestling for y'all. It was great wrestling against you, and it was great tag teaming with both you. And I'm glad to be part of Memphis Wrestling.
And I'd like to also thank you guys. I'd like to thank all the Memphis fans for allowing me to entertain you. So, guys, come on, let's go have some fun out here in this ring.
Let's go.
All right, thank you guys. Last live show for a few weeks. We are going to be here, but I think it's NBA for the next couple of weeks. We'll be on at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's
right. Set the VCR. More about this later on. You don't want to miss it. Let me tell
it's going to be great.
I hear the King's music.
Oh,
Here he comes. Here comes the cat with him. And let's get a word. Maybe he can tell us a little bit about some of the future stuff, too, as the King and the Cat make their way out here. And,
Come on over here, Cat. I'll hang on to you.
King saying hello to some of the fans. King, step on in here and maybe tell us a little bit about the situation and what's going on.
Well, you know, I know it was a very emotional time for Randy to stand out here and have to make the announcement that this is going to be the last Power Pro show. He didn't really he didn't really have the opportunity to go into all of the details, and of course, you know, when on the surface it may look like that part of this is Randy's fault, when you guys all know, and I know that that's not the case.
Exactly.
In this day and time, I mean, unless you're the WWF, it's very difficult to make money and be really profitable unless you have all of that, you know, that big, huge WWF machinery behind you. And for Randy has done a valiant job with the Power Pro Wrestling Company, but part of the problem is you know, Dave, is the studios here at Channel 5. I mean, Randy was told that they're going to be refurbishing these studios for about the next 3 months, and so that had a part to something to do with the fact that there couldn't be live wrestling shows in here. And so anyway, all of this stuff culminated at a sort of an inopportune time.
Can I just say one thing? There's some great big doors here. Part of it is so simple is that those doors open the wrong way. So you add a bunch of that stuff together, and that's what's going on.
Yeah, so anyway, no matter what, like we said, there wasn't going to be any live wrestling in this studio for the next several months until they refurbish and renew some things here. That being said, a plan was put together to do something that I think is going to be fun and exciting, and the fact that there's going to be the best of Memphis Championship Wrestling shows. We're going to go back a long way, and
open the vault.
Yeah, open the vault to some classic wrestling, which I think a lot of people will love to see. And then who knows down the road? I hope that we can all be involved one day, right back here, having live wrestling in these studios. I mean,
that's right.
This is, you know, this has been the history of Memphis wrestling in Channel 5 studios, and hopefully that can continue, and hopefully Randy can be a part of it, and all of us. We want to all, you know, it's like a family, and nobody wants to see any sort of family busted up. But that being said, this is a very special show. I want to thank Randy for the opportunity to settle our final score with the Spellbinder here a little bit later on. And speaking of keeping family together, Stacy, I hope that you asked for a match with Brandon Baxter, and Randy has just said that the only way Brandon's going to do that is if I'm not allowed at ringside. So do you still want to wrestle Brandon Baxter that way?
Yes, yes, I do. And, you know, I know what you guys are going to say. He's a man, I'm a woman, he's tougher than me. But you know what? I've got a plan. And I'm sorry, Jerry, but you weren't part of that plan to begin with, so I think I can do this on my own.
Okay. So anyway, you know, we're going to try to go out here in a blaze of glory today, and she's going to take care of Brandon Baxter, and I'm going to take care of Spellbinder.
That sounds good to me. Looking forward to the rest of the Power Hour, so it sounds like that everybody just wants to stay right where they are to see what happens.
And let me ask one quick question. When you see Spellbinder, do you really think that he might have at one time or other popped a steroid or two in him? I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Along with some sushi, yeah.
But whatever you do when he comes out here, don't yell steroids, because it might distract the guy, okay? You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, don't plant any seeds while you're out here, right? Let's take a look at some action that is right here. This is from last week on the Power Hour. Let's watch and stand by. A lot more to come.
Oh my God, any bigger? I need more steroids. Come on, give me some more.
Take these. Try these steroids.
I don't know. How do I look now? Am I any bigger?
I don't know. You're getting a little gassed up.
What do you mean? Don't my muscles look good now, huh?
I think you're going to pop.
Wait a minute. You don't think when I go to the ring people will yell steroids, do you?
You know what? They might.
Maybe I should shrink down a little bit.
Right.
What can I do to make them smaller? I'm shrinking!
Oh, my goodness. Well, I think they have a response.
Classic stuff.
Do they? I'm sure they are.
You know, Stacy
That
seems
was
to
on
sound like the little
153.
engine that could. She says, I think I can. I think I can. Well, Stacy, I know that you can't, because I'm a man and you are an inferior woman. Stacy, I'm not coming out there to wrestle you. I'm coming out there to fight you. I'm coming out there to beat you up. And I'm coming out there to end your wrestling career.
You see, King, run your mouth, say whatever you want. When the smoke clears, I'm going to kick your rear end. And that's the bottom line.
That's simple.
And we're going to find out a little bit later on in the big main event coming up right here on the Power Hour. We'll be back with much, much more action. Don't go away.
we're going to talk about the entire series of Power Pro Wrestling. Hopefully, Adam can join me audio-wise for that.
And the Power Hour
And
continues
this
live
show
from
that
TV5
was
this Saturday morning. Next week, we're going to be on tape. We'll be
on
on at
April
10 o'clock
14th,
Central Time.
next 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks at 10 o'clock in the morning. Right now, Rob
We'll
Harlan
have
is in. Was this
interesting
recorded
stuff
earlier, or is
to
he in
say.
the back right now? Let's go see right now.
You know, ever since Rob Harlem and all that have formed ATV, we have been exactly that, an ATV, all that's violent. We have run over every single opponent here in Power Pro Wrestling. And I just want to say this, on the final show, we've got Derek King and some of his flunkies. You're going to see why they do call us all that's violent. Somebody might not make it.
I can't believe those guys, what they do back there. My goodness gracious. Well, get them out here in the ring. We're going to have a ring full here, I think, in just a moment with all the guys.
A 10-man tag.
Michael Butler, watching from Humboldt,
I haven't had one of those in a long time. And I always feel sorry for referees. I know that a lot of fans don't, but William Gibson's going to have his work cut out for him. With that many people in there, it's very difficult to keep up with everything that's going on, especially when you guys got guys like Rob Harlem in there, and all that Alan Steele. Oh, Charlie Lair.
Oh, look at this.
Here's Reggie B. Fine.
Reggie B. Fine. He's got his Easter flock on, ready for the weekend.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, there he is.
He's got that fur coat from back in the 18th century that he found
This
somewhere.
was Rob Harlem, Alan Steele.
It used to be
Rabbit coat.
It used to be twice as big.
His Bulldog Range, Derek King, Blade, Flex,
There's all
and Kevin
that, and he's teamed up
White.
with that slew of
He
guys
went
on
the
that
wrong
side.
way
Their opponents are going to be making their way to the
with
other
the
side.
finish of this
And I'm
match.
telling you, they're going to have their hands
Coming up
full.
in just a few minutes, Brandon
I'm
Baxter
talking
against
about
Stacey
Mr.
Garden, Jerry Lawler
Personality,
against the Spellbinders
King
in the
leading
final
away
main event of Power Pro Wrestling. But that won't be the end of this show. As we'll talk to you folks, give some speaks, give some news, try to educate you a little bit, try to smarten you up. And here comes the babyface tag team.
There we go. It's a 10-man. Everybody for themselves.
Coming up in a few minutes, Stacey and Brandon, Lawler and Spellbinder. Call your buddies, your wrestling buddies. Tell them to tune in on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. We're also on the Power Pro Facebook, Talking Memphis Wrestling Facebook, the Radio Health Facebook, at RB Hills on Twitter, the Radio Health channel on Twitch, and the Wrestling Memphis Wrestling on YouTube, and the Radio Health channel on YouTube.
All that Alan Steele with a 2 count. These two have gone against each other in single matches many, many times. Meanwhile, down on the floor, they're doubling up on Reggie B. Fine. Bulldog Reigns down here in front of the desk. See what I mean about the referee having a tough time? They're all over the place.
Man, we're having a tough time just watching, and it's 2 of us, and there's only 1 of him.
I know.
Can I come over here and sit with y'all? You know.
You'd be better off back in the dressing room there, Reggie. You just go and leave.
They're trying to hurt a player. You know I don't fight.
Oh, player, yeah. Player ain't having too much luck right now. Need to go back to the Players Club, I guess. Look at that big body slam from Bulldog, a 2 count.
Hey, LL, we're watching the final Power Pro Wrestling Show. It was live on April the 14th, 2001. We'll talk about different phases of Power Pro Wrestling coming up in the final segment.
Dundee's been working with him.
Hopefully we'll get comments from you guys. Your favorite stuff. Hopefully we can get comments from out.
Yeah, he really had. Nice move from Flex. And a slam. Here comes Rob Harlem, all that partner in. And a tag made on Derek King.
Mr. Personality is coming in.
There he is. Derek steps in. And
want to thank Adam again. Producing every single show on the Power Hour that was done.
That's exactly right.
And for the biggest majority of it, even though we haven't seen him in several months, the biggest majority, Adam was an on-air co-host of the show, and he was great with that.
He's still one of the fine young wrestlers. Oh, Rob Harlem just corked the drop kick on him.
I'm telling you, to see a big guy get up off his feet and land with a drop kick is very highly unusual.
I'm surprised Derek can walk now after that.
Still to come today, we've got Jerry the King Lawler in our main event today against the Spellbinder and the Cat. Stacy takes on Brandon Baxter.
And in that one, Lawler and the Spellbinder are both banned from ringside. So it's just Stacy and just the Cat going against Brandon Baxter. The Cat says she has a plan. She wouldn't elaborate, but we'll see what happens. That's coming up minutes from now. Big slam.
And Vince, don't forget, coming up Memorial Weekend out at Liberty Land, there's going to be more Power Pro Wrestling for you out there coming up Memorial Weekend. Look at that. That's a 2 count. He hooked the leg.
It was just a 2. The referee almost got the 3 count, but the shoulder came up, and he said, nope, it was a 2 count. This one continued. Now there's Reggie in there. He's got the coat off.
Hey, he's got his meat coat, he's got his hat off. Man, what a clothesline. Oh, yeah. Reggie. He just kind of stepped over and flexing. His whole group kind of flexing.
That was like poetry in motion. Reggie challenged the other corner, and instantly all 4 of them started after him. And Reggie said,
hell in Canada.
I think my bus is here, he said.
We got West Tennessee, we got Mississippi, we got people all over. Hamilton, Georgia.
Wow.
Randy West watching from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Scott Hart in Kentucky.
10-man tag team action.
Frank
And Rob Harlan
Speeding in Northwest Arkansas.
He and Alan Steele double up on Derek King. Rob Harlem leaves him. Alan Steele celebrating with a crowd, maybe a little prematurely. There's a count of 1, 2. No! Bulldog Rage steps in. Derek able to get a shoulder up. The referee sending Bulldog back out. They double team Derek King back over the corner. They've really worked on Derek. They've kept that in there longer than anybody else on this side, Corey.
They sure did, Dave. Look at that. That's a 2 count. And Kevin White comes in and breaks that up. That kind of even things up there.
Action packed.
There's Jet Logan.
10-man tag. On episode 154 Power Pro Wrestling, Al Tellis says Derek is getting pummeled. And he is. I think he's about to make a tag. And he did. Here's young Kevin White. Kevin became great friends with Brian Christopher, who was not on the show because he was still affiliated with the WWE. Only 17 minutes left in the Power Hour. No commercials today, so we're really going through this sucker. Power Hour Plus today.
Jet Logan going at it. Oh, that with a little leg flip there. Oh my goodness, they got Kevin White. 1 count, that's a 2, and that's gonna do it.
That is it. All that Alan Steele and Rob Harlem.
How did you like talking about after this particular TV show? How many? How shows did we do? If that's what you mean, after this show, how many shows we did? We did none. We were out of business.
Now here they come. They're all coming back to the ring now.
That Liberty Land commercial. I believe that did happen. Kevin Lawler ran it, but it was certainly not a Power Pro show.
Well, they may have lost the match, but they're standing tall on the 4 corners of the ring right now. Don't go away, fans.
I thought I said that for
Brandon Baxter against the
Liberty Land show did happen, but it was not a Power Pro show. The Power Pro was done. Kevin Lawler promoted that. Said he would send me money, but of course he never did. Boy, man, did I go off on some people?
Hey, coming up next week, we got some special highlights. Opening the vaults.
Opening the vault of classic Memphis wrestling, 10 a.m. next Saturday morning, 10 until 11.
Chris
For the next 2
loves
weeks, be sure to join us.
be looking for you. And if you have to be away from the house, don't forget next Saturday, 10 o'clock. Have that VCR set. You're not going to want to miss this one.
It's going to be a dandy.
You're not going to want to miss this match coming up right
Hey, Chris Dales,
good. Coming up right
for
here
you
on
to
the
join
Power
on the
Hour.
very
The
last
music's the
Power
bad
Pro
music,
Wrestling
but we're
show.
going to find out how bad
One
he
of
is
the
because
saddest
Brandon
professional
Baxter
days
has
of
got
my
his
life.
hands full today with
April the
Cat
14th
Stacey. That's
in
coming up right now on the Power
2001.
Hour.
Well, I think
The
Brandon
last
Baxter's got to be feeling
wrestling
pretty good about the
TV
situation.
program
He's successfully
ever
gotten Lawler banned from ringside.
from the studios
In
of
doing that, he also got
TV5,
Spellbinder banned from
1960
ringside.
Union Street
So we'll see
in
what
Memphis,
happens.
Tennessee.
The Cat has been able to hold her own against Brandon
I'm
Baxter
a
in the
little
past
sad.
until there
We
was outside
live in this
interference.
very
We'll see
sad.
what happens
Very
as
low
Brandon,
key,
not a
laid
fan
back,
favorite. They're running
trying
pretty good as he
to
rolls into the ring.
continue to after hearing
The crowd is going to be solidly behind the Cat in this match. There's Baxter stalking around. Now going at the referee. You better watch it. You better watch it close, I'm sure he told him. Referee says, I'll do my job. You just take care of wrestling.
Here comes his opponent.
The Cat points at Brandon Baxter.
Remember,
Just me and you in here.
Jerry Lawler and Spellbinder both banned from the
We're
studio.
just about underway with one of the
Yes,
most
yes.
interesting matches
Certainly, it was surprising to me. I knew for a week.
Bill Rush says ring it, and here we go. The Cat and Brandon Baxter here on the Power Hour.
Now Baxter says, okay, here I am. Wait right here. Cat very cautious with Baxter. Come on, let's go, I heard him say.
Brandon runs in after, and
great move.
Good move from the Cat.
You know, maybe that's the plan. She
Yes,
said she had a plan. Maybe the plan
Right on him.
is to stay away from him till he wears himself out, let him make a mistake, and take quick advantage. That's a very smart wrestling move for anybody.
Oh, nice move from the Cat there.
Oh, nice move from the Cat.
Remind you that Jerry Lawler and the Spellbinder are both banned from ringside in this bout. They're both banned.
Let's put Al's
But
comment.
they are going to take on
Oh, wow.
one-on-one coming up later on as our main event as the final moments approach.
That's great.
Here is our main event today on the Power Hour.
Oh, there's the Cat out of the ring. Baxter chasing her, but obviously the Cat is faster than Brandon.
Yeah,
she's back in the ring. He rolls in. She nails it. Good move by the Cat.
Good move, and look at her take it out on Brandon Baxter. She reminds me of some
I
of those
love
deer
that
I see
comment
around
from
my
Al
house
Tuttle.
when I go home at night. She takes off, boy. Look at her go again. Brandon's right behind her. But the Cat rolls in under that bottom rope
but
again.
this time he says, I'm too smart. He's out of there. And she stepped on his hand.
Apparently he's not too smart.
Yeah, he's not as smart as he thought he was, or not as quick.
Yeah, the Cat telling him, hey, bring him in here. He's going to get counted out is what's going to happen to Brandon.
You know, the way they're going, we should have labeled this a 5K run and raise money for a charity.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Back in the corner. Bad place for the Cat to be. Baxter with knee to the midsection.
Yeah, that's twice. And Brandon snaps her out of there by a hair. And Brandon Baxter looks real tough now.
He drops down with a forearm.
Well, he goes for a
cover.
pin.
One,
Tomorrow
two,
night,
no, picks her up.
7 o'clock.
Oh, he said.
Deep dive
Picks the
in
Cat up
86
and,
Kenny. We'll see.
Brandon
Future Hall of
Baxter
Famer
still.
Sting in an Ultimate Warrior Blade
Oh, he's got her
Runner.
up in the air.
Jeff Jarrett.
And a slam.
First TV match. Bam Bam Bigelow's debut.
Followed by the
Plus
big
a
leg
match
drop.
with him and Jerry Lawler. Tomorrow night at 7 Central. Make sure you join us for Talking Memphis Wrestling.
Well, he is in control. There's no doubt about it. The Cat in trouble. Now you're always choking her.
He's got to break that, ref. Come on, get her.
That stopped, referee.
Referee Bill Rush standing in. Finally breaks the hold. Got him off of him, Bill. He wakes right
Subscribe to the Randy Ellis channel, youtube.com/@RandyS. Appreciate everybody. I don't know if we have any of you two people watching today. Do we, Alan?
Boy. The Cat taking a pounding right here today on the Power Hour from Brandon Baxter. He runs in! Oh, yeah!
There's
Yes,
a
we
mistake.
do. LL.
There's a
Tom,
big
all on
mistake
you.
for Brandon.
There's a groin injury. That's what that is.
Oh, yeah. The Cat backs him up. A reversal. Cat goes in. Look at this. Nice move.
Great move by the Cat. And Baxter's down in the corner.
Stacy, real exciting in the ring. She came a long, long way. Whoa! How would you like to have that happen to you guys? I love Stacy.
Yeah, he got her in the eyes. A real cheap shot from Baxter. We've seen a couple of those today.
I'm telling you. Nice move from the Cat. And Brandon follows up with a nice
I think
move by
this is the
stopping
best
her in.
match that I've seen Stacy
Breaks her eyes,
have.
whips her into the turnbuckle now.
Back then, Baxter wasn't very big, but man, he could go.
She rolls in behind him. 1, 2. That's all she's able to get.
She almost had him.
She sure did. What a nice move from Stacy. And the Cat maneuvering well around.
Where's
the ring.
Baxter going? He went through the curtains. Is he leaving? Oh, no. He brings a chair up to the ring.
Oh,
no. The referee. So now you
Hey,
can't
here
bring that
comes
in here.
Suzanne.
That's
Stacy's
her sister. Yeah, Suzanne. We've seen her a few weeks ago. We saw her here.
Yeah, and Suzanne stops him while the Cat rolls him up. Stacy's got him. 2, 3. She got him. Yes, sir, Eva.
All right. Big upset win. And Brandon Baxter in a good match with Stacy with Cat Carter on April the 14th, 2001. There is Suzanne, Stacy's sister, and Stacy the Cat Carter Waller is the winner of the next to last match in the Power Pro Wrestling history on show number 154. And the final match, the final live studio match in the history of TV5, Channel 5, WMC TV in 1960 Union in Memphis, Tennessee. Coming up next. Don't forget, after this match, we'll come back to us. I'm until the whole crew and nothing but the truth. So help me be.
We're going to settle it right here today.
Right here today. A lot of scores to be settled. And here's one.
We're showing right now the last episode of Power Pro Wrestling. Again, April 14th, 2001. The end of the era. TV5, TV wrestling in that studio. It started in March of 1977.
After winning it at the Star Spangled Celebration last July
Folks,
3rd.
I
In recent
encourage
weeks,
you
he's thrown his lot with
to
Brandon
stay
Baxter and has
for
really become a problem. But that
a
opponent he knows so
review
much about
of
is one of my favorite
certainly
wrestlers,
Soft
if not the favorite
and
of all time.
a lot of
He's here
stuff
today in the main
coming
event.
up.
And he's
A
going to
lot.
try to take care of Spellbinder once and for all on this Power Hour. Here comes the King to the ring area. It'll be the King versus Spellbinder in our big main event here today.
You know, even though I knew what this led to,
It's the King and the Spellbinder. Referee Bill Rush is in the ring. And it's the main event on Power Pro Wrestling and the Power Hour right here today on TV5, live from the studio.
As with so many other things that are big in Memphis, Tennessee over the last, 50 years? We're seeing it live on TV5 right now.
Yes, sir. Right from Union Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee, it's our main event. The King, the Spellbinder. Uh-oh.
The crowd yelling steroids, steroids, just like Jerry suggested that they not do.
Oh, yeah, he got it. He tried not to
And he is distracted.
Get
Look.
him to do it, and they're still doing it.
Yeah, Jerry said you might distract him, and look at this. He is upset. He better pay attention to his opponent in there. The crowd chanting at the Spellbinder, steroids, steroids. He said he doesn't use steroids, he just works out a lot. He does work out a lot.
He does work out. It's the King and a Spellbinder. Body slam, what a slam from the Spellbinder. Wow.
He says, look, he said that's not steroid, that's just muscle. That's what that is. Lawler hanging back in the corner. The King, ever since I've known him, has been a slow starter in the match. And that's been the case so far. But he finishes well.
He sure does. Boy, when you look at the win-loss records, I'm telling you, there ain't many that stack up with Jerry the King Lawler when you look at the win side and the loss side. Another body slam from that Spellbinder.
Man that wrestles all over the world, and we got him live right here in Memphis, Tennessee today. Jerry the King Lawler.
Spellbinder looking across the way. Brandon Baxter was out earlier talking about he knew that the kid had something up her sleeve. Well, let me tell you, the King's always got something up his sleeve. So watch out, Spellbinder. Whoops him in hard. Right across the way and follows with a big forearm. And down goes Lawler. Spellbinder trying to get him up. And the King back on his feet.
Spellbinder paying more attention to the crowd. Lawler's just letting him do that.
Tangle up now. Spellbinder backs the King up. Referee Bill Rush in on him. Man, look at the Spellbinder go. Pounding away on the King and a right to the midsection. Lawler staggers over to the corner. Spellbinder whips him in and out.
All the way over here, Corey.
That whole ring shook that time. I'm tell you, this Spellbinder has some power, man. This guy's, he's as big and as thick as they come. And he doesn't like it all that the fans out here making a mockery of his size and his stature because he is tough, let me tell you that. The Spellbinder.
He's got that boot across the throat, and he leaves Lawler in the corner. Now, he's insulted us. He's going after referee Bill Rush.
Very proud.
He's saying, hey, come on.
He's getting the King hot. The Spellbinder over choking him now. Referee Bill Rush is right there. And Rush gets him off of him.
But I'm very proud of this Power Pro Wrestling series. And at the last show,
out of Memphis,
I don't
Tennessee.
know if it could have been any
Trying
better.
to fight his way back to
Oh, look out. Yeah,
Dave and Corey doing a great job here. For Power Pro Wrestling, a fantastic,
King is coming back. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The King going out to the Spellbinder, snaps him over. Oh, and he introduces the Spellbinder to a series of right hands.
Uh-oh. King knocked into the referee. They're both down on the mat. The Spellbinder standing there. Our time limit is running out. We've got 1 minute exactly left. Not in the time limit either. In the show we've got left right here.
Oh, he throws a
big
referee.
slam.
Hey, man.
Oh, my goodness.
He'll be fine for that one, I guarantee you.
What
that
a way.
won't go away. Spellbinder now.
I am proud of him.
Uh-oh. Lawler hooks him down.
Lawler's got him. Here comes Randy Hales. Randy counts 2, 3. That's a 3 count. And Randy gets in, counts a 1, 2, 3. Hey,
Spellbinder reaching.
That's appropriate. Lawler gets the win. I do the count.
The owner.
How about that?
Makes the 3 count.
Oh, he makes the big time slam. 1, 2, 3.
The big main event. Corey, that's it for the Power Hour. Thank you for joining us, fans. Next week, 10 o'clock in the morning, Corey and I will be back with something special. We'll see you then.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
I'm Jerry the King Lawler, and I want to invite you to join us right here every Saturday morning on TV5 at 11 a.m. as we open the vaults of classic Memphis wrestling.
Hey, wait a minute, King. You're not going to open anything without me, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. You're going to see such superstars as Jackie Fargo, Austin Idol, Tojo Yamamoto, the fabulous ones. Hey, Hulk Hogan and Randy Macho Man Savage.
I know that, but don't tell me we're going to be seeing more of you.
King, we're back together again, baby.
Every Saturday morning right here at 11 on TV5.
April the 7th was when, after television, I got the news that the following week that we just saw on the 14th of April would be our last thing. It was my dream. Remember the timeline. Remember the fact that Power Pro Wrestling existed because the USWA went out of business, because Jerry Jarrett sold his part of the company, and then Larry Burton came in to the area through Jerry Lawler when I was on a leave of absence. He became the general manager of the company. He got a sale to an investor, and it went from hell, and ratings went down, talent quality went down, and the USWA was moved from live in the studios to then it was taped and shown at midnight, and then it was a put together video show, and then Jerry Lawler was not a part. It was just going down. Finally, Mason Granger, the general manager of WMC TV at the time, he canceled the show. Now, I had a good relationship with TV5. I had a good relationship with the people in power, and so I went ahead and got my plans together and went, and this was probably in January or February, and it was a process, about 6 or 8 weeks that we talked, and I had a meeting with Mason Granger, and Lawler went with me to just say, I'm going to be a part of it. I signed Dave Brown, I signed Corey Macklin, we got a start date, and off and running we went. And certainly we have been watching for the last 154 weeks of this thing, and I'll tell you, and I've told you before, I got addicted to Memphis wrestling first time I saw it when I was 10 years old in 1971. A good way to say it, and I said it on that interview on the earlier part of this show that we watched, at times in my life, it's been obsession. It led to nervous breakdown type of symptoms. It led to drinking. It was led to drugs. It led to being unstable. It led to bad decisions. But as heart and my strength was, I knew how to book Memphis wrestling. I knew how to book live television. And I had a great team working with me, along with 2 different times help from the WWE. Now, the night before April the 14th, Corey Macklin called me. And I was told, well, no more studio wrestling, a little bit liability and all that. Well, Corey Macklin called me, and by the way, the operations manager and former production manager, Corey Macklin's good friend, Creighton Armour, who's the one that broke the news to me anyway. Corey called me up, and this was 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night on Friday night before this show that you just saw. And Corey says, Randy, the problem is that TV5 has lost all confidence in you. Now, I had never once been told that. Never once been told that. He said, I'm going to try to get a TV show, and I want you to book it. Now, if they don't have any confidence on it with me, do you think it makes sense that the first person they come to ask to book the thing is me? Do you think that makes sense, people? Do you think that makes sense? I don't think that makes sense at all. So the next morning, and this was a phone call on a Friday night, the next morning at television, I was all business. I was professional, no problem at all with anybody. But Corey walked in like we're big buddies and like everything's okay. Went to shake my hand, and I did. decline. I just ignored him. I didn't put him over. I snubbed him. So that's the truth. Now, I had good relationships for a long time with Corey, and it broke my heart when he passed away, no doubt about it. At that particular time, I wasn't happy. So then what happened was, Brandon Baxter was with me. We were headed back to Jonesboro, and I told him, I said, Brandon, we need to get I want to take the set, the announced death, that's out to the truck, brought the truck, and put it up because I want that. Now, I've lost it since, but that's another story. But I had the garage door open to take this out, and we saw inside. And there were several people inside, including Creighton Armour, including Corey Macklin, including two others, said, we'll put this there, put that there. They were convinced pretty quickly they were going to have television, and I was out. So my philosophy was, I really thought, folks, again, my obsession and my livelihood, I thought my life was over with. I really did. I thought, what can I do next? What in the world can I do next? Thank God that Channel 5 owed me a big check and the WWF owed me a check. So temporarily, I'd be okay money-wise. It wasn't like, what's my next meal going to be? But I was in bad shape. So I grabbed the big pole in the back of that truck. And this is I don't know if I've ever told the story. I teased I was going to show it in the book, but I don't know if I was. I had, honest to God, forgive me, Lord, I had every feeling, every intention of going in with that bow and kill somebody. Because I felt they had taken my livelihood away from me. So I had it in my hand. Brandon Baxter starts tussling around on the thing, and he's screaming at me and said, you'll go to jail, you go to jail, you can't do this, you can't do this. Then a Memphis Police Department officer, who they had a precinct right across the hall. And all of a sudden, he pulls in. I'm steps away from going in with evil intentions in my heart. And here comes the police and says, Randy Hales, what in the hell are you doing? And I'm thinking, I'm caught dead-handed with this weapon in my mind, and I got to get out. I got to get out of it. So I'll say, officer, who I was hoping he didn't watch to figure out that was the last show. So apparently, I didn't get arrested, so apparently he believed my story. I said, we are running through what I want to do next week on television. We're walking it through right now. I said, okay, be careful. By that time, nobody was in the studio anymore. Brandon grabbed me and almost shoved me into the car. And at that point, those that know me personally know what that did to me. I mean, they do. I mean, because since that day, April the 14th, 2001, I have not worked full-time in the wrestling business. Sure, I love doing this. I love doing this. The business changed. Now, the wrestling business is not what it was, and I wouldn't be good at it. Nobody's calling. Nobody's calling at all. Except some local promotions have in the past, and I have declined that as well. But it was devastating. And I said, I didn't know what I was doing in my life. Old sayings don't get to be old sayings unless they are true. All great things come to an end. And the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. In a few minutes, we're going to talk about different phases of Power Pro Wrestling, but right now, I want to tell you a little bit about personally. Where did I go from there? Starting into May, I started sending resumes out. I've never had a real job in my life. I've been getting money out of wrestling since I was 14 years old. I never had a real job in my life. I didn't know what I was going to do in my life. One thing I thought, I was looking through ads and I was looking through advertisement. I saw a radio station, and I knew I bought a lot of radio, and I knew about radio, and I was a major in radio television. That was my degree in broadcasting at Arkansas State University, so I tried to get a job. Interviewed with the TV station, then with the radio station. The radio guy, Perry Jones, liked wrestling. So I went to work for a group from Memphis that owned the Jonesboro station, and Adam, you have that. As LL says, too bad, makes me want to read the book and living the great dream, the Randy Hales story for sure. Adam, if you would put up the Pollock, if you would put the Pollock Broadcasting, good guys, they own KBTM and KNEA and other stations that now is a part of East Arkansas Broadcasting and Brandon Baxter. I didn't like that. I can sell wrestling tickets. I can't sell advertising. I didn't stick with that long. Didn't stick with that long at all. And then I needed something else, and I had a friend of mine that was a big wrestling fan. His name's Rick Davison. He married into the Benson family, who was the franchisee to Sonic Drive-Ins. And Rick Davison told me, knowing I'm looking for a job, says, Randy, put up the Sonic graphic. America's Drive-In, Sonic Drive-In. He said, with your work ethic, and I've seen it happen, said, we'll train you, and I guarantee you that in a short period of time, you can be a partner and be in business with us. I'd never worked a real job in my life. Never, ever. I was scared, but I needed a job. Needed a job. So I went to Sonic and became assistant manager, then a manager in training, then a manager, GM of the Sonic in Truman, Arkansas. And it clicked, and they liked what they saw. And I had the opportunity to buy into the Sonics in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. And for the next 13 years, ORH was in good shape. And at that point in my life, even though I made good money in wrestling, in Sonic, thanks to Dallas Benson and Don Benson and Lila Benson and Laura and Lance Smith and Karen Davison Ernie and all these people that I became family with. These people are so good. When my mother got dementia and I moved her from Mississippi in with me, I didn't work much. They said no one word, not one fussing. They're good people, folks. They're good people. And then mother passed away. I needed to go somewhere else in life. And then the old superstar. I'm fuzzy here. I'm going to fix this screen. I am going to fix this screen. The old superstar. See how good that Adam Dunn is? He knows has a fuzzy picture, and he knows where I'm going next in this deal. And Bill Dundee was working as a marketing director for Cole Brothers Circus, a traveling circus that started in Florida, ended up going all over in North Carolina, South Carolina, Washington, D.C. area, New Orleans, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, and New Orleans, certainly New Orleans, and then Long Island, New York, New Jersey, North New Jersey, South New Jersey, then Long Island, New York, and I got to see New York City for the first time, got to see Broadway shows. So that was just a great opportunity. But political correct people and animal rights people boycotted the circus. That went away. And I went with an old friend for my next step. And that old friend, my fellow Hellstein people, was Jerry Lawler, as I went to work at that point as the general manager on Bill Street at King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill, 159 Bill Street in Memphis, Tennessee. 159 Bill Street in Memphis, Tennessee, and had a great 3 years there. And then got a phone call from Jerry Jarrett because I was leaving to move back to Jonesboro at that point. Got a phone call from Jerry Jarrett, and he said, Randy, and Eddie Marlin had lost his wife. Eddie Marlin was my mentor, and Jerry Jarrett said, as you see that picture right now, in the rehab hospital there, as me and Eddie for 2 years, for about two years, I was the unpaid caregiver for Eddie Marlin, because without Eddie Marlin, there would be no Randy Hills in the wrestling business. So I stayed to August. He passed away on August the 15th of 2019. Several days later, I moved back to Jonesboro, starting over again. And a thing called Uber came along. A thing called Uber came along. And since this time, I've done over almost 26,000 Uber rides and love it because I like people, I like to drive, and I like money. And so being what I think is the highest rated Uber driver and the person with the most rides of anybody in this market, I was thrilled to death with that opportunity, and that certainly leaves everything, tells the story. Let me say this thing from, as William Robinson says, Randy went full circus and wrestling in a sense. Wrestling came from the old carnival community and then became its own thing, and then Randy went back to traveling circus carny. You're absolutely right, and that is a great, great thing. William says, good old Eddie, gotta love Eddie. One thing I want to make it clear right now, from the time Power Pro Wrestling ended in April of 2001, just I wanted to mention close family guy and traumatic, my dad passed away when I was a freshman in college in 1981. The first year of Power Pro Wrestling, my grandmother Ruth Benton passed away. Then, certainly, my dad, did I say this? My dad passed away when I was a freshman in college in 1981. My grandmother passed away in 98. Then in 2011, living with me for about a year and a half. My mother had dementia. She passed away. And then in 2014, my brother-in-law passed away. And 2018, my sister Judy passed away. So that's where my life has been at the time. I want to quickly run through the different phases of Power Pro Wrestling. Adam, you with me or you against me? Okay, Adam is on a telephone call, and I could say some good stuff there. What the hell? But we're going to talk about Power Pro Wrestling, if we could get a Power Pro logo up there. So as I look at these notes, I divided Power Pro Wrestling into different phases. Different phases. I appreciate everybody, and if you want to respond to this, I appreciate it. Phase 1, the beginning of Power Pro Wrestling, which was a classic Jerry Lawler Bill Dundee match. Also in the beginning, it set up a Jerry Lawler Randy Hills feud, a build up to blast off on the Dome, the creation of the Young Guns division that was great. Jerry King and others, and Kid Wicked won that first Young Guns championship. Proud to say the blast off at the Dome in June of '98 was a very successful show at the Mid-South Coliseum with the main event of Jerry Lawler, the King, against Kane from the WWF that led to the Rumble on the River that was set up by Goofy Brandon Baxter trying to burn the flag of the United States of America. He was forced. The Creighton Armor added this primetime show, first and only primetime show, live in primetime TV5, and he had to pledge allegiance to the national anthem of this country. In show number 18 of Power Pro Wrestling, show number 18, most watched show in the history of Power Pro Wrestling, without a doubt. It was my hair against Stacy's hair, Randy Hills and Billy Travis against Jerry Lawler and Stacy, and out of 154 shows, this was the most watched show. Also, in phase one of this company, show number 23, the Sid Vicious debut, August the 26th, big TV main event, Jerry Lawler against Road Warrior Hawk. October the 31st is the classic Adam Dunn's favorite show that he was guest ring announcer. It was the Halloween show on October the 30th. October the 31st of 1998. That's phase one. What did you think? And LL says, I know this is a shameless way to tell you how I started What's the Power Hour. I stumbled on to your YouTube lives 2 years ago. Also, classic USWA clips. I appreciate LL and I appreciate everybody very well. We will then go in to phase two of Power Pro Wrestling, the first stage of WWE developmental. Show number 30 was the debut. We had Sean Stasiak, Baldo, who is Matt Bloom, the head of the Performance Center and very high up in WWE development of talent he developed in Memphis. The current Aaron O'Grady is who we had here. And Adam, help me out. What did he wrestle as in the WWE? Who was Aaron O'Grady? Yes, this is live, as live can be. The show we showed earlier was not. Aaron O'Grady was Aaron O'Grady in Memphis. He was Crash Holly in the WWF. These shows are live. I'll be live tomorrow night. Live as live can be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We look at 1986 classic stuff. Also, during developmental phase 2 of Power Pro Wrestling developmental, number 1, we had Stasiak and Baldo and Crash Holly and Vic Grimes and Mick Tierney. Sean Stasiak kidnapped Stacy. Stasiak and Brian Christopher invaded Lawler. Dundee made the save. Brandon Baxter was getting killed by me, so he brought in Freebird Michael Hayes, his hero. Sean Stasiak, quote, brought his mama to beat up Stacy. The great Mae Young, Mama Stasiak. Show number 49, out of 154, March 20th, 1999. The debut of Kurt Angle. We had a live appearance as heels from Stan Lane, Steve Kern, the Fabulous Ones. Show 60, June 5th, 1999. J.R. Smooth lost his Power Pro title against Kurt Angle, the Olympian. Then Jerry Lawler ran for mayor. Because of equal time laws, we could not have Lawler, the TV station, say, you can't do it. So Lawler, not in TV. I brought in Whoopi D. I brought in Doug Gilbert. Then Jim Cornette came in. That absolutely, whatever it was, the toxic interview from Doug Gilbert that happened on November the 6th, that obviously I got a lot of blame from Jerry Lawler for that. Now, after that, the WWE said, hey, the only way you can keep your deal if Jim Cornette books, we've lost confidence in you. So on November the 13th, Jim Cornette took over and booked the territory. But then we eventually, in February of 2000, because Terry Golden was starting off Memphis Championship Wrestling, and Jerry Lawler was mad at Power Pro, mad at me, and so he flew the coop, and we lost our deal. Cornette lost a loser leave town match to me. We lost developmental talent. That led to phase 4, which was all local. We brought in people like Whoopi. CB White became CB Hales. That was a classic thing. Main thing, Brandon Baxter helping me book. He brought in Ali and got him over, and that was a very good stage. Phase 5, Lawler came back. Developmental came back, including the American Dragon, Daniel Bryan. That happened on October the 7th, but then eventually Jerry Lawler leaves the WWF. I was given the thing, if I used Jerry Lawler, I would lose the deal with the WWF. I chose Lawler, and then I lost the deal. Then on April 7th, I was told we had one more week worth of shows and it would be gone. And so that's the different phases. Now, this final part of this, before you guys can type me of what you think, as Thomas says, Doug Gilbert was insane. It's hard to tell what was a part, what was a shoot, and what was scripted, previous agreed on. I can tell you, I did not know anything that, and I was the producer of that TV show. I didn't know that anything that was going to be said. Now, in the Power Pro run, 154 shows. I want to know if you guys agree with me for that, on what different things I've said. The best babyface of Power Pro Wrestling was Jerry Lawler and Stacy. Honorable mention to Bill Dundee, to Sid, to Brandon Baxter. Good little run of baby faces there, and I think you have to also throw in Brian Christopher. Best heels, the Randy Hales Syndicate, Brandon Baxter in later days, Jim Cornette, Sean Stasiak, and again, Brian Christopher. The best feuds, Jerry Lawler versus Randy Hales, Brandon Baxter and Michael Hayes against the Syndicate. The best prize, either the Fabs or Mama Stasiak. Best match was either the odds match or the great Kurt versus J.R. Smooth match. And certainly I'm trying to see a hardcore triple threat match that was Adam's favorite, Vic Grimes against Steve Bradley against Bulldog Reigns, for sure. So I thought that was interesting for sure in that. The best TV show in the 154 weeks, I think it's tied. I think the very first show we did, and I think the July the 4th, 1998 live Rumble on the River. So absolutely, that was the run. That was the run of Power Pro Wrestling. For the last 154 weeks, we've been bringing you this show, and I hope everybody's enjoyed it very much. I said, Michael Hayes absolutely did a fantastic job. Jimmy Valiant wasn't here a lot, certainly great. I knew Cole Keenan would want to argue with me. And that's why we did these shows, so you guys can get off your asses, because it's a lot easier to hear the work I've done and then calling, oh, you left this person, you left this. And do I see you guys laying out these shows? That's what used to get me hot about wrestlers. I think about a television show or Angle or booking a card, or Jerry Jarrett did, or Bill Dundee did, or Jerry Lawler did, or Ole Anderson did, or Dusty Rhodes did. And then all of a sudden the wrestler hears it in 10 seconds, oh, let's do that. And that just fucking didn't happen. That was the wrestling business. And that is frustrating to me. Now, Matt says, I think the best match was all for the marble match control of, and that was not, Matt, a TV. Certainly that was great. And that was in Jonesboro at Earl Bell. I was talking best TV matches. I agree with you. And that certainly was a fantastic draw. And with Michael Hayes and Brandon against the Syndicate and me, that was the best business at the box office and the best business at the box office in Jonesboro, Arkansas, my hometown, ever. And I am proud of that as well. Just very proud of that. Talking Memphis Wrestling tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time for Talking Memphis Wrestling tomorrow night. Looking forward to that show, and it will be classic. We're going to deep dive into 1986. We're going to repeat something we showed last week. It's just so good. Jeff Jarrett's intro into wrestling. Then we'll see Jeff Jarrett's TV debut, Tony Falk against Jeff Jarrett from April 1986. Re-showing the 1986 Bill Dundee, Buddy Landell slap of Lance Russell. We will see Joe LeDuc talking about helping out Jeff Jarrett. He talks to Lance. The Freedom Fighters, the future Sting and Ultimate Warrior. We'll see their debut. We will see them turn heel. We'll see them as the Blade Runners against Phil Hickerson and Billy Travis. Then we will see the debut of Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam Bigelow against Jerry the King Lawler. Then the most heated angle in Memphis wrestling history, with Tojo Yamamoto being involved in that. It was a passion. It was an obsession. It was Power Pro Wrestling. Thanks to Adam Dunn, and I'm sad he wasn't able to be on the show today, but certainly he was a big part in me doing these watch-alongs, really kind of twisted my arm a little bit. It's unfortunate, probably the last 2 months he hadn't been on to help me through this tough time of getting through to the end. But thanks to Team Health, thanks to everybody, thanks to Al saying this was absolutely a great show tonight, as says PJ, and we appreciate that as well. Tomorrow night, Talking Memphis Wrestling, and man, how about those old sayings, the best is yet to come? Check us out Tuesday, best is yet to come. And from time to time, after WWE pay-per-views, breaking news, they're always the Randy Hills. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to bring to you and let me live 154 shows of Power Pro Wrestling. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Team Hills. I'm Randy Hills saying bye-bye, everybody.
Power Pro Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling.